We're at Sandoval City Rough Rider talking to Jalin Fuller ahead of LFA 150. So kind to join us during fight week. Oh my God, it's fight week. You've been quite jovial and energetic during our pre-interview conversation.
I'm feeling jovial. I'm feeling energetic going into this one, man. I've really got this whole fight week cut thing down to a science now. Like, there's nothing for me to be stressed about, so why not be in a wonderful mood?
I think last time we were talking about how nice it was to be active. It was like 2 fights in 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
2 fights in, the first fight came with 7 weeks.
And now we fast forward and it's like 8 months to get another fight, unfortunately.
Yes, 8 months. As a lot of people know, 13 names were given to me. 13 people said no. So I'm just thankful that we have someone who agreed to fight now, and we're looking to dance.
Now, if we look back 8 months ago, was that a learning experience? Like what do you gather and take away from the experience against Mr. Orobey?
That fight with Mutabek was one of the best learning experiences of my life. I got to find out where my jiu-jitsu defense really is against somebody with that master of sport combat sambo background, that Dagestani wrestling style that everyone has to deal with at some point now in this stage of the game. I'm happy I got to feel it now and adapt to it. You know, it really showed me what I needed to work on. Because I was kind of feeling myself a little bit too strongly on my takedown defense. Literally the fight prior, not even a week ago, my hips were able to just toss another grown man right off of me. But when I faced a takedown that wasn't that good old boy American wrestling style of takedown, it was a completely different ball game. Even my defense, technically, after watching it back, was incorrect. It was all just incorrect. So when I first got back these last 7 months now, I took like a moment to just be mad at myself for performing so shamefully, because I hardly even threw myself in that fight. Then after that, it was, well, let's work on body lock defense and inside trips for the next 7 months and really do what I can before my next fight to shore up that hole.
And here we are, the next fight, 8 months away. How hungry, how excited, all those verbs. What's going through your body?
What's going through my body is preparedness, readiness, no more anticipation. It's just, I know what's happening. I have a game guy who isn't going to back out, who isn't going to say no, and I'm just looking forward to clashing in the middle with another striker for the first time in my career.
Matching 6-2 records. He's on a 4-fight win streak. 2 of them subs. The last 2, both knockouts in the LFA. Scott Writz. What do you think about the opponent, the challenge ahead of you?
I think that Scott Writz is going to be a very confident opponent. When you're on a 4-fight winning streak, that does something to you mentally. It allows you to step in with a little bit more certainty than you normally would. I would have to say I'm prepared for his combinations of choice. Based off what I've seen, even when he goes down to the ground, it's just ground and pound. Let's get this guy out of here. It's not going to be too much. I have to assume he, of course, has that submission threat. I believe he even comes from a wrestling background, so he'll have that to lean on if the stand-up isn't going his way. But overall, I feel like this is going to be a fight where I get to dictate and show exactly what separates me from the rest of the pack.
Feel like his striking, well, he's willing to go for it. It's quite boxing-based.
100%. He is almost solely boxing oriented, and to be blunt, he's very hook oriented. He loves his fadeaway counter lead check hook. It's his best punch in his arsenal by far. More so than his overhand, his straight left. That lead right check hook is his weapon of choice, and he's hurt a lot of men with it. And we'll see if he's feeling like he can hurt me.
What's going to be the difference about this different version of Jalin Fuller that we see Friday night?
Not so counter heavy. This is going to be all about me taking center of the cage and just clashing with this man. Every time he tries to move forward, I'm looking to blast him. If I take a step back, you better believe it's because I'm setting up something big and I'm going to crash into him as soon as it starts.
How long have you spent time, or how much time have you spent thinking about dictating the action?
All camp. That is all we've been thinking about. That last fight, and even the fight prior where I dominated, I was just too counter-based. I did not lead in a single exchange, and that's honestly, for me, unacceptable. So I'm going to look forward to going in there, leading the dance, and controlling everything that happens in that cage.
Before the short notice fight, everything was on a high note. You said, again, feeling yourself, calling for the title fight. Do you think a win here puts you right back in that same kind of trajectory, considering the longevity you've had with the promotion and the success you've had?
It damn sure better. I better get that title shot after this impressive finish or my first main event. This will be my 9th fight in the LFA. So I think that's long. No, 8th fight in the LFA, 9th fight as a pro, and I think that it'll be long overdue for me.
What is your expectation for the fight? Are you seeing a finish here?
100% I see a finish. He falls in 2 or I fall in 2. That's the only way that this fight is going to go.
Now, I'm sure you've seen it like I've seen it. Scott gets in there, he throws down, but that chin might hang out a little bit.
If you leave your chin to hang out there with me, I have 8 tools that I am quite adept at swiping across that chin and leaving you unconscious. So that's why I'm very focused on clashing with this man and forcing these exchanges where he's going to leave that chin exposed, he's going to look to lean and pull hook, and I'm going to knock him unconscious when he does.
And we just had some holidays. It's the beginning of the new year. You a New Year's resolution kind of guy?
You know what? I am a New Year's resolution kind of guy. And if you're curious, my New Year's resolution is to finally be wearing that LFA welterweight strap and then moving on to the next stage of my career.
Gentlemen,
Thank
see
you.
him in action. LFA 150. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for having me.